don't hold your breath too long. Bad things could happen. Interesting title for this one. Thinking that maybe it's an underwater film, something to do with that, but it's not. And let's see what it is about here with the IMDb plot to start. In the 1930s, Oklahoma, amid the region's horrific dust storms, a woman is convinced that a sinister presence is threatening her family. All right. Holding your breath, dust storms, that's kind of where that kind of plays in. Get into that here in a second. Fairly new one. This one is on Hulu, or that's where you can find it. Starring Sarah Paulson. She's probably the real reason I wanted to watch this film. A fan of her. I think she really does a really good job in horror. Obviously, a lot of people know her from American Horror Story, but she's done some other horror movies. Kind of, some stuff that might be a little bit similar to this. Stuff, is kind of a little bit dramatic, and usually has a twist and so forth. And it's maybe not, horror, but that, it's kind of that mix between thriller, drama, and so forth. So definitely she's suited for this one, and I guess I'll say off the bat, she does a good job like I expected in this one. And again, she's the driving force in this one. But what is this one kind of about? I will say, since it is still kind of fairly new here, I'll keep this spoiler free. Maybe there is a little bit of twist and turns here. This one plays a lot on what you believe is happening and what you believe is happening, or what you believe what is happening, what the characters, I guess, believe is happening. To kind of say. So we'll try to keep this spoiler free. We're obviously 1930s, a while back in a small town. You get to see a lot of women here in this town, not too many men. Her husband is off. He's went off. I forgot the explanation to why he went off somewhere. So she's there with her two young girls. She's left there to keep them safe and obviously, feed them and take care of the home and so forth. And obviously, as they said, there's some dust storms that are coming and going. So there's that ever fight to, stay indoors, keep the dust out of your house, stay healthy, not, let that affect you. But then within this small community, there's also becomes this story where another family was terrorized by a man or a person out in one of these dust storms who killed them. And, this person was never caught. And therefore, everybody's kind of on edge to if they're going to come back, if they're not. Even if they're, to the point of are they real or are they not. The young girls, her girls here, they read a story about the gray man. And, he's kind of, one of those, maybe urban legends, a story. So is he the present that's kind of out there? Is he the one that killed this other family? You don't know. And I think as the story kind of unfolds, as, it kind of goes along, you kind of see that kind of or paranoia kind of set in the mom. She's, very protective of the girls, but then, starts kind of blurring her dreams and her nightmares with her reality. Is the guy there really there or is not? They do run into a guy, and, she kind of does the right thing and tries to help him. But then at the end of the day, is he a good guy? Is he not? Is he the present? Is he the gray man? Is he not? Does he intend to harm them or not? She also, we get to see her meet with her kind of some of the other women in town, and they, say some interesting things and have an interesting kind of meeting. And I believe they do that 2 or 3 times. But then there's some other woman who, might have, is while Sarah's character kind of you portray her as maybe not going she tries to portray herself as being okay, being a strong woman or whatever, but then behind the scenes the audience gets to see that maybe she's not. But then there's another woman that we get to see who is kind of portrayed as maybe not being as strong, maybe is holding on. She's got a young child who's also sick from the dust storms, I believe, and so forth. So there's some crossover with what happens with her, and basically, as it goes, it's kind of just one of those films that we see sometimes where you have a character here who's kind of trying to struggle to stay in reality and what is really happening versus what is not. The dust storms are coming, they're happening. There's time you're not going to know whether she's dreaming, she's not, is she really in a dust storm, is she not. You get a little bit of the kids' angle as well. Like I said, the 2 girls are there. They're going to talk about the gray man. Did they see him? Did they not? You're going to see their fears of him. Obviously the mom's concerned for them. The mom is going to go around the small house at times, concerned about the girls. Are they there? Are they not? So basically she's going to break down as the film goes, and then things are just going to get a little bit more wild and crazy as it goes. And then it is just one of those films that you have to decide what is really happening, what is not happening, what she's seeing, if it's real or not. And by the time it all ends, it's up to you to kind of decide did certain things really happen, did they not, and so forth. And so it becomes an interesting watch. It's about an hour and a half, just over an hour and a half. So it doesn't go too far. So, I guess this is kind of one of those films that you may be into, maybe you're not. Obviously not a slasher film, obviously not a lot of blood and guts and like that. Again, I think a movie that, she's really made for. It's she's a good person to play this kind of role. So I think you'll like her performance in the movie, and enjoy it. Just kind of look here. Okay, didn't, I guess, blow people away. It has about a little over 6,000 ratings here, and just a little bit over 5 here on IMDb. So, I guess it didn't wow people, but I don't think it did. It necessarily did, but I think it is a solid film. Definitely a different setting than we're typically to see. Yeah, again, a small town, but kind of going back in time a little bit, and being featured in kind of a dust storm, and that kind of playing a role in it. Not necessarily a Western, but it kind of gives you a little bit of that feel. Kind of going back in the day. Not too far back, but back enough. And being in that small kind of town kind of vibe there. So, there's some good things there. Definitely is going to be have some very intense moments, and some suspenseful moments. Because like I said, it's going to draw you to the line. Scenes are going to happen, and you're just not going to know until that last second, is it really happening or is it not? And they're going to kind of go back and forth. Some things are going to be really happening and some are not. And then, kind of, push it, to its limits as far as they can go, especially when it's, not reality. So, I think I'm going to give this one 3 pools of blood out of 5. Again, solid performance by her. I thought the 2 young girls did a good job as well. I thought, there's even some maybe creepy, I know they have the gray man and the presence there and whatever. I just thought, maybe that in some of the moments that you wouldn't expect to be creepy, maybe were, when the women had their little get together, I thought that was a little strange, and maybe creepy is not the word, but weird or unusual in itself. Again, as you watch this, it's a lot of did they really say that? Was that really the conversation, or was that kind of in her head or not, and so forth? There's a lot of that going on in the movie and so forth. So I thought they did a pretty good job of drawing some of the tension, drawing some of the suspense to it, and kind of, keeping you on your toes. You had to be paying attention and so forth to see, what is going on with her, what's going on in her head, is it real time, is it in her head or not? I didn't think that the movie, would kind of agree with sort of the rating there, not super high, not going to blow you away or anything, but certainly a solid film, and definitely some good performance in it, and definitely, with the tension, the suspense, and so forth. So, again, 3 Pools of Blood for this one, and again, this one was on Hulu in case you haven't seen it and are looking for it. I always wonder how people kind of navigate, having to either wait to go on DVD or stream. Maybe you have it in one streaming place and you wait for it to go on another place, or so forth. Kind of crazy to kind of navigate finding all these films in different places and so forth. So, with that, horrorsquarereviews.blogspot.com is where you can find all of my reviews written in video. Certainly mostly video reviews as of late, so you can feel free to like and subscribe and do everything else that everybody wants to do here on YouTube. If not, no worries, it is okay. I thank you for your time regardless. Twitter, Facebook information down below, so feel free to reach out to me there if you have something you want me to review. You want to talk horror, definitely always interested in that. Whether it's this movie, another movie, open to recommendations, and definitely in the comment section below. Once you guys kind of catch this movie, your thoughts, feel free to throw them down below. Definitely interesting to go see what you guys thought of it, and see, if you thought the same or different and so forth. And definitely anything else you want to put it there, recommendations and so forth, or you just want to reach out down below as well. So with that, I guess I'll catch you in the next review, horror fans.